Welcome to another exciting installment of Eating Well with Michael and Elle. I'm Michael.
I'm Elle.
Today, normally we talk about recipes and things you can cook, but today we're going to talk about something completely different. We're going to talk about portion size. Elle, what's a portion?
A portion is like how much food you eat.
That's right. And sometimes portions can be really big, sometimes portions can be really small.
And sometimes they can just be in the middle.
That's a very good point. So what we've done is we've got some household stuff to help us figure out exactly how much portions are, because when you start eating bigger portions, you're going to start eating more calories, right? And that's how you start to put on weight without even realizing that you're putting on weight, because it's all those extra calories.
Because a lot of people just eat without thinking and they don't even look at their portion sizes.
Do you have any idea how many decisions people make during the course of a day about food?
Yes, 200 decisions of what food they should eat and how much of it they eat.
200?
200.
That's a lot of decisions. Do you have any idea how much people will eat off their plates when they serve themselves?
Well, 98% is the most amount.
So people will eat 98% of what they put on their plate?
Yes.
So you're making 200 decisions and you're eating 98% of those decisions. That's a lot of food, right? All right, so let's take a look at this. Here we have a nice deck of playing cards. This is just a normal, average deck of playing cards. What does this represent to us, Elle?
It represents meat.
That's right. This is a portion of meat, or chicken, or lamb, and it's about the size of the palm of your hand if you don't count the fingers. So, yeah, about the size of a deck of cards. Now, most people, if you put this on a plate, they would think that's not much meat, right?
Yes, but it actually is, because they put a lot of chemicals in meat.
They do.
They do. Well, also, so if you're eating this, you're eating less calories and you're still getting a good meal out of it.
Exactly, and that's the point. So that's your normal serving for some meat. Now, what else do we have? Ooh, we have this. What is this? This is a checkbook.
It's fish. It represents fish.
That's right. Serving of fish is about the size of a checkbook. And again, that's a good calorie intake for the amount of fish that you want to have. Now, here we have a tennis ball. What does the tennis ball represent?
Well, it represents kind of three things. It represents vegetables.
A serving of vegetables.
Dried fruit.
Dried fruit or nuts, yeah.
And about how much ice cream you should have for dessert at night.
That's key, because a lot of people will go to the ice cream and they'll just start scooping away, and all you really want is to have something about the size of a tennis ball if you're going to have ice cream at all.
And a lot of people think that, well, they put some in the cup and the one's like slanting up like this, and they don't even think about that. They're like, oh, I'm just going to have this much, and that slant doesn't even matter, but it does.
It totally matters because it's extra calories. What else do we have? Ooh, we have this. We've got two things here. We've got dice, and we've got the pencil. Now, what is this?
Well, this is cheese.
Cheese. This is cheese.
About 6 of these,
which would be about as long as the pencil.
Yes, would represent about cheese stick.
Right, so like a mozzarella cheese stick that you'd have as a snack. That's a serving of cheese. So when you put down a giant wheel of brie and you start picking from it, that's so much more than a serving.
Yeah, because a lot of people just put a chunk down on the plate and they just go.
They just keep picking.
And once again, they just eat 98%.
Right, and they're not even
92.
thinking about it. They're not even thinking about it because they're making 200 decisions a day about what they're eating. That's a lot. Okay, now we have this, the compact disc. What is this?
It's pancake. It's actually really funny. That's a pancake.
It's a pancake. It's a pancake. So one compact disc is about the size of a serving of pancakes. If I served you one compact disc as a pancake, would you think to yourself, ooh, that's a serving?
No. I would think, that's crazy. How am I supposed to eat that little?
Right, exactly. But this is a serving. And we've trained ourselves to think that we should be eating that much more. But it's not. It's a serving.
Also, like when somebody puts down a pancake, there's these squiggles on the side. And a lot of people just think that the squiggles don't matter and there's just a nice little neat circle right there.
The squiggles
but it does.
matter. The squiggles matter. Exactly. We got one more thing. This is a computer mouse. Computer mouse is a portion of a small baked potato. So again, sometimes you go to the store, you find these potatoes that are, the size of a human head, and you serve those for dinner. Extra calories, and it's not calories that you need, it's calories that you don't want. All right, so that's our demonstration of portion sizes. I want to talk for a moment about plates. because plate sizes are a really, really big part of how much we eat. This is a normal dinner plate, you know, the way we find them in the store now in the beginning of the 21st century. Where are we? 2010. 50 years ago, though, plates were not this big. Now, how much did you say people will eat when they serve themselves?
98. Well, they serve themselves about 100%, but they only eat 92% of it.
So they eat 92%, but they serve themselves 100%. But there's still, if you fill this plate, and this plate is 100%, and they're only eating 92, that's more calories than if you take a smaller plate and you fill that and you eat 92%, right?
Well, I eat from this kind of size of plate, and just because I'm a kid doesn't mean that grown-ups can't eat from this kind of size of plate too, because it saves you a lot less calories and a lot less weight gain.
Exactly. Now, what I think is interesting is if you start to take all our different things, like if you take the serving of meat and you take the vegetables and maybe you take a baked potato and you put it on the big plate, doesn't seem like all that much. If you take the same stuff and you put it on the small plate, all of a sudden it looks like you're having a much bigger meal, right? So you're going to think to yourself, I'm giving myself a nice full meal, and you're going to eat that, 92% of it, on the small plate, and that's fewer calories, and it's fewer calories across the board for the entire week, because if it's 200 decisions a day, that's, let me do the math, 1,400 decisions a week. Conscious or subconscious?
Well, so let's say we eat this, we still have half of this still there.
Right.
That's about 92% you're eating, and you still have this left.
Right.
So,
Leftovers, you can have them for lunch tomorrow.
yes.
Good. One last thing I want to go over, because this is a great thing, is bowl size. I mean, we were talking about ice cream, and again, if you put the tennis ball in the huge bowl, it's not that big, and you're going to think, I'm not getting much ice
It's
cream.
like,
Right. But one of the things that I notice with breakfast cereal, both kids and adults alike, they'll find breakfast cereal. We here like Honey Nut Cheerios, not a paid endorsement. We just like them. Now, a serving size of Honey Nut Cheerios, let me find this, is 3/4 of a cup. Let's see what that measures out to. Let me have this. We'll measure out 3/4. That's 3/4 of a cup. Now let's take the bowl, pour it in. Right. And again, it's about 1/3 of the way from the bottom of the bowl, but that's still one serving. So you got to watch yourself. You got to watch, what you're looking at and compare it to what the serving size
and
is.
also, if you pour milk in this, it just bubbles up to about right here.
Halfway?
Halfway about. And that's as much cereal as you usually have, only you put up the cereal to here,
Right.
and the milk bubbles up to the top.
So if you find it upsetting, get smaller bowls, but just understand that if you're looking at the bowl and you think, I've got to fill up the bowl, you're going to be eating more calories. And those calories over time are going to add into extra weight gain. And that is not necessarily what we want when we're eating well, right?
Right?
Excellent. Well, I think we made our point. You've been watching Eating Well with Michael and Elle. I'm Michael.
I'm Elle.
Stay tuned for our next episode. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.